How's it going, Pointers? I'm today's host, Florence Anderson, and welcome back to another episode of What's the Point? It's homecoming week here on campus, so today I'm joined by an incredible SPTV alumni. Please welcome Chris Watkins and Chris Stanford. How you guys doing?
Hi, thanks for having me.
Pretty good, Florence. How about yourself?
Yeah, it's really great to have you here. So to start this interview off, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? So what year did you graduate? What major did you graduate with? And what are you up to now?
Sure. So my major was media studies, graduated in 2017. SPTV had a lot to do with where I'm at now. So after graduating, I started at WAOW Channel 9, as did many of my colleagues that were in SPTV at the same time. It kind of created it was like the best path ever, really. Just created a trail to follow pretty much. And their footprints became the footprints that I would leave for other future SPTVers. So that was cool. And because of all that help and all their help, 2 years after that, stayed at Channel 9 for a couple of years. And then this year, I ventured out from Maryland, where I'm originally from, and I've made it out to Inglewood, California, where the National Football League is, and where I'm currently working now as a digital programming assistant. So it's all because really of the start of SPTV, and I truly couldn't have told you where this story would have gotten me had, they not had such an imprint on, my life.
Yeah, I'm a 2005 alumnus. I went to the School of Communications. I had a mass media emphasis. I did some internships at some local TV stations whenever I was there too. And I've been working at a number of different TV stations across the country in all different kinds of markets. I have been primarily a news anchor and a reporter at most stations that I've worked at. And right now I work at News 3, channel3000.com in Madison, Wisconsin, the CBS affiliate.
That is really great to hear that both of you guys are doing so well and in vastly different markets as well. So when you were at SPTV, how did you get involved and what were your roles within the organization?
So for me, I was on a campus visit. I had never been to Wisconsin before. So it's just snowy and everything's just it's big, even though eventually the campus was okay, it's just small. But at first I'm just bug-eyed. So we go into the communications building and all I knew is that I wanted to get involved in media, specifically TV. I literally walked right into the SPTV studio and everybody, is just very embracing and open and all that. And they literally said, whatever you want to do here, you can. So I took that and kind of just ran with it. I was like, okay, I'm ready to volunteer. Anything that you need me to fill in on or anything that you need help with, I'm here for it. And from there on out, they kind of gauged my interest in exactly what I wanted to do, which was sports starting out, but being able to stretch from just wanting to do sports to doing so many other things, just seeing how a newscast is run and being able to involve myself in that with the sports segment and just floor directing and things like that. As I mentioned before, we're just invaluable. So once I got that started, we were just off to the races.
So it was one of those general meetings. It was hey, get to know, all the different clubs and programs that the communication major had to offer. And I just stopped in one night. I had somewhat of an interest in media production. At that time, I really had no idea what I wanted to do. This was midway through my time at UWSP, just this lost, wandering student looking for some niche, some way to get into something to pique my interest. And when I went to that meeting, I started connecting with the people and the ideas, and it sparked my interest really for the first time since I had started school. And I volunteered. I would, put together news stories. I would work behind the scenes, help putting on live broadcasts, anything I could get my hands on, or any way I could try to help, I tried to do, whether it was with, live sporting events, anything behind the scenes, producing videos, doing news stories. I was all about it. And then after about, I think a year of volunteering, I joined the exec staff and was a producer on the exec staff for a couple of years. And I was really proud of my time there. We had such a good time. There was such a good group of people that all had the same kind of interest. And, while we were trying to, produce some good work and, be professional, we had a lot of fun. It was just a great group of people together. And we grew in like kind of our shared frustration over getting things to work. I mean, you have to remember, like, whenever I graduated in 2005, like right when, a lot of, students now were just, little ones. This was right when Facebook was launching. This was before, YouTube was really big, and we didn't really have an outlet. I don't even remember if we had a website. So putting things together, we were in this like transitional period from shooting everything on like a VHS tape to now doing everything on a computer or a phone in, lightning speed. We were caught in the middle, like trying to figure everything out, where we're trying to be on the cutting edge of technology, right? Like we're trying to, edit on computers, but things took a really, really long time. So the simplest task that we do today that you can do on your phone, any simple app, or like, in, TikTok or doing an Instagram story or whatever, like takes no time at all. Back then, it would have taken us, hours to do something like that. So our group really bonded over trying to figure everything out. And, we had this grassroots feel about it that, we were these, underdogs trying to overcome technology. And it was just a ton of fun.
That is really great. I definitely know over here we can relate to some of those tech struggles and that bond that it overcoming the machine, so to say, has given us. So what was there anything you learned or did at STV, what it was called in your day, that helped you get into and what you still do to this day?
Oh, for sure. So one of our big accomplishments when I was working there was bringing back live newscasts. Back then, we were operating on Channel 10. We were a cable access station. Since we didn't have a website and we weren't putting out any of our content on YouTube or like any streaming services or anything, all of our focus was on doing live broadcasts. So I was able to anchor the news. Like I had a desire to anchor the news. I thought it would be cool. And that's where I really fell in love with it. And I've had several anchors. I'm an anchor right now still. Like here I am, 16, 17 years later, doing exactly what I was doing in school. And I've made this is my career now. And it's because of that early experience to be able to do that, anchoring the news and also putting together stories. I still put together news stories on a regular basis. And I've done that in some pretty big markets in the country too. So having that experience that I got at UWSP, working with my fellow students, it totally paved the way for me. It gave me a leg up on a lot of competitions, a lot of my competition in the industry. And I've been able to get hired at, several different news stations across the country. And I credit a lot of that to what I learned at UWSP.
I think the main things are you kind of just become disciplined as far as, because you're working with a group of people. So the things you do or don't do, it doesn't affect just you, it affects everybody else. So just trying to come in with a professional mindset, building a professional mindset early on. That way, when you become a professional, it's already instilled in you, but still being able to have fun and being able to be versatile and do whatever that may be asked of you. So they were just little lessons that kind of, I guess, double as life lessons that I try to take in with me, each day.
Well, that's really great. I love to hear that. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll talk a little bit more about your guys' time at SPTV and play a game that'll test our ability to anchor with a straight face.
Are you interested in pursuing a career in animals or just looking for a way to help preserve wildlife? Then the Wildlife Society might be just for you. As one of the largest organizations at UWSP, you will have your chance to help in projects that study and preserve animals, network with professionals, and meet like-minded people. Join us Tuesdays at 5 p.m. and join the Wildlife Society today.
Welcome back, everybody. Now let's get right back into the interview. Do either of you have any fun stories or favorite memories from when you were a part of this organization that you'd like to share?
Yeah, Florence. So I remember one of my favorite memories was just the 2017 WBAs, just going as a group and being able to go to like different restaurants, and we have, like a table for like 30 people or something like that, and just really just bonding together with the people that you work with and get to know as friends and colleagues and all that. And then of course the actual ceremony and winning awards, that's always good. But just the camaraderie building is always fun. So that's one of my favorite memories for sure.
For me, it would have been trivia. We brought back covering the trivia contest and brought that back to TV. And, it's a crazy weekend. Everybody's sleep deprived and, a little loopy, and you're slamming energy drinks and you're just eating junk. And, there was one point, there was like some cart in the hallway, like some flatbed cart. And like, we're wheeling each other down the cart, like we're surfing down the hallway on this big push cart. And it was just such good times. And we were proud of the work that we did. We were goofing off, sure, but like bringing back something like trivia to the airwaves was so much fun. And we were so proud of that.
Oh my God, those both sound like really fun times. Wish I was older so I could have been there. Would have been great. Well, now we're gonna take a little break from the questions and play a classic What's the Point game, Read It and Weep. So I'm gonna present both of you with a new story via the Zoom chat that was created specifically for this day. If you stumble on your words or you break your demeanor, you will be booed by the SPTV staff currently in the room. Are you guys ready to play?
All right, so a fair warning. The other day on the news, I had to read a story about a bronze statue that was stolen from Art Fair on the Square here in Madison. And it was a bronze statue of Humpty Dumpty sitting on a toilet.
Oh my God. Okay.
And the name of the statue was Dumpty Humpty.
Oh.
And I had to say that with a straight face on the air a few times.
It seems as though you have a leg up over the other two of us.
All right,
So I'm excited to see how you tackle the story. All right. Whenever you are ready, you can start reading.
Okay. A local man, Candace Fitness, was hospitalized today after a confrontation that involved a fox, a squirrel, and a folding chair. Fitness walked into a garage and saw a two-tailed fox battling a rabid squirrel over that folding chair. Baffled by the situation, Fitness attempted to break up the fight and take back his chair by shouting, "Dude, why take another man's chair when you can just live long and prosper?" Then the squirrel charged at Fitness and pinned him down while the fox proceeded to beat him with that folding chair. Police and a medical team arrived at the scene after Fitness's neighbor called complaining the man's screams were disturbing her birds. Doctors say Fitness will fully recover in time for Christmas.
I got
How'd I do?
Say, very well done. Very well done. We definitely had a few laughs in the studio writing that one.
I hope you like video games. This one's definitely one that we had fun writing as well about one of our favorite video games. So please, whenever you're ready, go ahead and start.
All right. So this past week, Blue Sky Animations announces the cast for their upcoming film, Legend of Zelda, The Ocarina of Trains. The cast includes Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Link, Amy Schumer as Zelda, James Corden as Gander. Oh man, Gandalf. Kevin Hart as Dark Link, Rihanna as Navy, and Shane Dawson as Epona. According to an interview with director Zack Snyder, the movie will center around Zelda and Link riding on a train when the villain Ganondorf will run into them with his own bigger, better train. Link will travel across the lands to learn the song of Ocarina's Train in order to defeat Ganondorf, rescue Zelda, and battle with his addiction to Mountain Dew, Code Red. The film is already getting Oscar buzz before it's even released.
I must say, I think the other Chris was a little more straight-faced.
However, I still have a story to read as well. So
okay.
I will pull that up.
Just to, I like to join in on the fun, and this was a story that we had a lot of fun coming up with a concept for. So I will read from the actual teleprompter that's in front of me, so I'm not going to be looking at you. But like I said, we had a lot of good times with this one. The Stevens Point courthouse was set ablaze yesterday. Firefighters attempted to abolish the flames, but were unsuccessful due to the governor's mandate demanding they use water guns instead of hoses. As to the cause of the fire, police are following up on a lead after an anonymous tip was submitted on bababooey.com with a photo showing UWSP student Florence, gotta go fast Anderson, leaving the scene while ripping up a parking ticket and, quote, cackling like that crazy-eyed hyena from The Lion King. Anderson has not been seen since, and police are asking for the community's help in locating her. That's I'm not saying it's based on a true story, but it's based on what I wish was a true story.
It sounds like there's a little bit of truth in there somewhere.
I did get a parking ticket the other day.
Oh.
And it did make me very mad.
But you know, as is the life of people who have to park. All right, well, I think we all did a really great job. Very fun. I definitely have to say that, I think I was the best.
But I'll leave that up to you guys to decide as well.
I don't know.
All right, so we're going to take our last break, and when we come back, we'll ask a few more questions. And of course, what's the point?
Okay.
Hi, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Cam, and we're co-editors for The Pointer.
The Pointer is a student-run newspaper at UWSP. Student employees handle every aspect from writing to advertising to delivering the papers. We also offer, of course, the benefits of a newspaper, of community engagement and understanding about what is going on around us and what kind of reality we're living in.
There's a lot that people can do. Of course, we have a lot of positions for reporters or for section editors, and people can write for sports or news. But we also have, space for people who are into photography. We also have people who are interested in doing things for the online and graphic design to form our layout. There's a lot of different opportunities for different kinds of people.
Welcome back, everybody. Now I got two more questions for our guests here. The first being, what was your guys' favorite part of being a part of this SPTV organization?
My favorite part about working for SPTV was the relationships that I made with so many great people, some of whom I still talk with, more than 15 years later. It was just a great way to build camaraderie with some people who, were similar and not so similar to you. Learning about, all the different people who are on the staff there. Just so much fun, so many good memories. And while we were, goofing off, we were able to, learn some valuable skills that really set us up for success. My favorite part was the relationships that I made when I was there.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that, I would say much of the same is true for me as well. Just getting to know different people from different walks of life who you probably, may not have met otherwise, but being linked by this commonality and just, having an interest to do television, and whether it's sports or entertainment, any facet of SPTV, it's the coolest thing for me. And also seeing those relationships blossom into, being, or rather going from being college colleagues to professional colleagues to just friends outside of, or regardless of the status of, if you work together or not. It was just the coolest thing. So that's my favorite part as well.
I have to agree. It's one of my favorite parts. I've said that many times on cameras. I love my coworkers so much, and I'm glad I get to know them now. So now we have the big ticket question. Looking back, what's the point of SPTV?
For me, the point was getting as much experience as possible. While sure, you're cultivating those new friendships and growing those relationships, I was able to do so much. I mean, the point was to just try as many different things as possible and really figure out what I wanted to do with life after school. You can try broadcasting a sporting event, or, stepping outside of your comfort zone and, figuring out how to do live TV. There's nothing like being put in front of a camera and that red light going on, being live, and someone saying, go. It's all on you. And you don't get to do that hardly any place else. I mean, there's hardly anywhere else you can get that kind of experience, in a setting like you guys have there at SPTV. The point was to just gather as many useful skills as I could so I could be ready day one when I stepped out the door. And that's exactly what happened. I was so fortunate to be hired and start, at a TV station on the air the day after graduation. And I could not have done that without SPTV.
So again, much of that is true as well. I think the point for me kind of was just to being from out of state, from Maryland, coming to Wisconsin, just embrace it, just immerse yourself into the whole, not only UWSP, but SPTV culture, honestly. Just get in and see what you like, see what you don't like, but more so than anything, just having memories in the future and not, or being able to leave and say, no, I didn't have any regrets as far as what I did or didn't do. I did everything I wanted to do. I tried this thing, that thing, the other thing. And just the wide range of opportunities at SPTV, from floor directing to anchoring to the various segments like entertainment, sports, its own show, live sports. It was just try it all and just see what you like and let that guide you. But what you didn't want to do is just go in there and be, I guess, fearful or reluctant, because it's really a place where you can grow. You can make mistakes and you won't be, chastised about it or anything like that. So yeah, for me, it was really just part of my, I guess, acclimation to Wisconsin, period. And it was such a big help because it really got me comfortable in everything else that I did eventually.
Both really great answers. Wonderful to hear. Thank you so much for being on the show and sharing your experiences with us. We definitely enjoy stuff like that. It's great to have you here. And thank you for watching. If you want more SPTV content, check out our YouTube channel and check us out on social media. This has been Florence Anderson with What's the Point?